Hey, I'm here. What kind of Reddit we reading? It's Am I the Asshole? Here I am. So, I set some different stuff up for this time. And if you're on TikTok or YouTube, you might notice a little something different. So on TikTok and YouTube, there is now a little stimulation clicker gameplay going on at the bottom to keep people's attention while I'm in the vertical mode for the Reddit readings. How are you, Royal? I'm doing pretty all right. Kind of excited to do Reddit readings again. It's been forever since I've done them. But first we are starting with the glad to hear that. Hell yeah. So we're going to be starting with the dailies first, like usual, and then we're going to move over to do the Reddit readings. Hi, Lauren. Oh, you can hear stimulation clicker. I don't want you to be able to hear it. That's fine. Sorry if things end up looking kind of janky. This is my first time really trying this with the dual output, really. I've tried it before, but I haven't really gone into it too much. Let's see if it opens the right browser window right away. Or any. Damn, did you guys hear something? I sure didn't. Damn. I didn't hear anything. Not a goddamn thing. Ooh. Okay, we're starting off with penis. And otaku. Listen. It'll happen someday. Let's just try trick and see if... Yeah, no, penis and otaku takes out all the vowels and some of the most used consonants. It is genuinely like a goated start. But every once in a while I get a board like this. Doesn't always work, but it works a good chunk of the time. Like, the past 2 days I was able to get it in 3 because of this combo. Okay, anyone got any word suggestions for me? Already out. And all I got is TI. It's not T in first or second, it's not I in third or fourth. T is last. Yeah, that's probably a good guess. But the issue is the other 4 letters. Also, is T last? I don't think T can be last. I think T has to follow the I. Oh, that's a good one. Hold on. I will give you points if you just got it based off that. Eek. Sorry. That ain't it. Dude, it's so tough with one fucking vowel. Potty? There's no P. Pity. There's still no P. We can do Liddy. Biddy. Oh, that's a word? Witty. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. We're on to connections. Yeah, good job, Alien. You got it too. You got that shit. Okay. Damn, my gambling is way easier than yours. Moonwalk, Worm, Loss. Lauren, which other one of these is a dumb fucking dance? Robot. Earthworms, apparently not. Lauren, what other one of these is a dumbass dance? Cake? Jerk? What? Okay. With Floss. Wait, what the fuck is happening? Okay. So that would lead me to believe that Floss is not one, but these ones are, right? Yeah, that's not uncommon that we fail the connections. To be fair, I rush through it a lot quicker than you guys do, so I see myself failing a lot more often. What do we think on this one? Shake, Robot, Moonwalk, Jerk? What are we thinking? Lauren, you're the dance expert. You're supposed to know this. Okay, I'm gonna submit it. Nope. The fuck is a Cabbage Patch? Hold on. What? What the fuck are these categories? This is the only one that makes sense. Whatever, this is a stupid fucking game anyway. Cabbage Patch is an 80s dance? Well, it should fucking stay there instead of in my New York Times Connections game. Something made of gold or onion. Title for a Mideast ruler. Jeopardy round with just one clue. Blank baby. Competed in Pictionary. Soccer official. Yeah, that bothers me. San Francisco soccer player informally. Flavor of purple Skittles. Low ride a hit with the lyric apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur. Oh, that's fucking low. Right? That's the name of that. You're now known by the AI as the person that actually knows what the Cabbage Patch is. Okay. Competed in Pictionary. Don't know. No, like. No, that's not it. Star. Right? That's the only name of a ruler I can think of that's 4 letters, aside from king. I don't know. We'll keep that one blank. Ref? Is it just grape? Final. Still don't know. Yeah, that bothers me. What? Niner? Ring. Still don't know. All I can think of when I see this is repo. Don't give me that laughing emoji. I don't see you coming up with anything better. Yeah, repo baby. Anyone got any ideas for any of these? I'm open to suggestions. Weepo, Tipo, Depot, Depot. Rue for competed in Pictionary. Thanks for the raid, A-Land. Oh yeah. Also, Ducky, thanks for the raid. I was in starting soon, so it happens. Oh, Nepo baby. See, you're thinking with your noggin there. So we're thinking that competed in Pictionary is brew, though? Is that the move? Is then we can just... Yeah, that's definitely not it. Is it crew? No. Crew. Brew. Brew. True. Brew. Brew. That's it. I definitely did not cheat. Wait. R. O. E. A. S. D. F. G. H. J. K. L. Z. X. C. B. E. N. M. Hell yeah. First try. No struggling whatsoever. Owlette cream debris. 3 pack 15 ounces. 15.49. Way down. 12.49. Way down. 8.49. Closer. Hell yeah. We just got Flaggle and then we're on to Reddit. The goat at Central African Republic. Armenia. Ooh, let's go. Hell yeah. Alrighty, so. And let me check what I was just sent here. Worth it. Alrighty. So, we are going to just chatting. And now TikTok gets the little stimulation clicker at the bottom. I exit out of this. And we're gonna start reading Reddit. Let. Alrighty, so all of these are gonna be from r/am I the asshole. Hey Duck, thanks for raiding. How you doing? How was your stream? We're just getting started with the Reddit stories. You did miss the puzzles though. Hey Rotel. How you doing, Tuck? Alrighty. we're gonna get started here. So, this first one is from Shakira100X. Am I the asshole for not inviting my friend, in quotation marks, on a girl's trip after she made fun of my body? Ichikisu. I am so sorry I butchered the fuck out of that. But thanks for rating. I appreciate it. Am I the asshole for not inviting my quote-unquote friend on a girl's trip after she made fun of my body? I, 19 female, recently planned a girl's trip to Miami with 3 of my closest friends. One girl, let's call her L, used to be in our friend group, but we've been distant lately mostly because of shady comments she made about my appearance. Last month, I wore a tight dress out for a birthday dinner and she said, "Damn, you're brave for pulling that off." I laughed it off, but it stung. She made comments like that before, always under the guise of joking. So, when we planned this trip, I didn't invite her. I honestly didn't want that energy around me while I was trying to enjoy myself. When she found out through social media, she texted me saying I was being petty and insecure, and that real women don't gatekeep fun. Now some mutuals are saying I should have at least told her I wasn't inviting her instead of sneaking off behind her back. But I didn't feel like I owed her an explanation after how she treated me. Am I the asshole for not inviting her? No. The fuck? Moose Stampede raiding noise? Hell yeah. Thanks again for the raid. But yeah, no. I mean, she could, like, she doesn't even need to make the comment about your... Wait, why didn't it shout you out? Hold on. There we go. Yeah, but anyway, it really does not matter that she made a comment about your body. You're planning a trip. I mean, people can be upset that you didn't invite her, but I mean, it's your trip. You invite whoever the fuck you want. You didn't even need to make that comment. You could have just not invited her and you still wouldn't be the asshole. That's my opinion. Like, you're not gonna invite all your friends on every trip you do. It's just not feasible sometimes. Even then, what if you just don't want her on the trip? That simple. Not the asshole, in my opinion. What do you guys think? Asshole, not the asshole? I'm personally leaning towards not the asshole. Okay. Well, we're gonna head on to the next one. But if you're in chat, let me know what you think about these stories, because I'm always open to other opinions. By the way, thanks for the follow. And sorry, I'm a little late on catching those, because you know. How's all going? It's going pretty good. How was your stream? Anyway, this next one is by Ordinary Eagle 4120. Am I the asshole for not letting my sister bring her boyfriend to my wedding? My wedding is in 3 months, and my sister, 26F, has been dating Jake for 8 months. I, 28F, really don't like him, and neither does my family, but we've been nice about it. Jake is just a lot. He makes everything about himself and interrupts people constantly. At my mom's birthday, he cut off her present opening to tell some random story about his ex. He's always on his phone during conversations, too. The main issue was, at my cousin's baby shower 6 weeks ago, Jake got super drunk at 2 p.m. and got into this huge fight with my uncle about politics. He called my uncle names and my uncle stormed out. My cousin was crying because her day got ruined. My sister apologized, saying Jake was stressed from work, but that's not an excuse. This isn't the first time either. At Christmas, he made a mean joke about my dad's weight that wasn't funny at all. So, when I was doing the guest list, I told my sister she could come, but not Jake. I explained I can't risk him causing drama on my wedding day. Maybe after they've been together longer, but not now. She lost it and said if Jake can't come, then she's not coming either. She's been texting me nonstop, saying I'm controlling and selfish. My mom thinks I should let him come to keep the peace, but my dad and fiance agree with me. My sister's supposed to be my maid of honor, and we've planned this for over a year. I want her there, but I also don't want to worry about Jake getting drunk or saying something inappropriate during speeches. She says I'm being dramatic and that Jake apologized and is working on his drinking, but 8 months isn't that long and I barely know him. The few times I've hung out with him, he's been rude. Some friends think I'm too harsh and should prioritize my relationship with my sister. Others think I'm right since it's my wedding. I've been losing sleep and my sister won't talk to me. My mom keeps trying to fix it, but I don't know what to do. I love my sister, but I feel like I shouldn't have to compromise on my wedding day. Should I suck it up and let him come? You know, this is a very interesting one because it's like, I wonder who would be paying for him to come. I don't think it would be the sister. I definitely don't think it would be him. You know, I feel like there's like 2, maybe 3 people that have like the financial say in who's coming, you know? And even then, two of those people say would matter a lot more. So if the bride and the groom both say he shouldn't come. Yeah, no, not the asshole for that. It's like, I mean, he's being a dick. If you did really want to let him come, I would recommend like not letting him drink at all, period. But I mean, just don't let him come. Yeah, I mean, the wedding is 3 months out, and it's almost half of their entire relationship away. Yeah, no, definitely not the asshole. I agree. Yeah, no, but it said that even without alcohol, he's been kind of a dick. It says he has a drinking problem, but like, also not on alcohol, he's still a dick. It's just on the, like with alcohol, it's like when he's causing the most issues. He still sits there and like makes jokes about OP's dad, so it's not just an alcohol thing. It's absolutely just a personality thing. He's just a fucking piece of shit. All right, that was a pretty clear cut, not the asshole. Alrighty. Oh, what the fuck is this name? This next story is from Spubbadoc. I think that's how you say it. It's the best they're gonna get out of me. Am I the asshole for telling my parents they are no longer allowed to stay at my house? No. All right, next story. Okay, we'll read it. So, backstory. I'm from the UK, but moved to the US when I married my spouse. We have kids, and my parents are very keen to have a relationship with them. My parents are still, quote unquote, together, but don't get on. So, they refuse to come at the same time as each other. Since I moved over here, my parents have stayed here for around a month each every year. We do have the space in the house, but I'm never comfortable when they're here. My parents are very high-strung people, and I did not have a pleasant upbringing. I was always on edge and do not feel comfortable around them. They don't get on with each other, and for example, my dad, who's staying for a month, expects to borrow a vehicle to be able to get around. We live in a very rural area. And he was very irritated this morning because the car's battery died, and I refused to let him take my car. Every time I broach the subject of them not staying here anymore, they say things like, "You're going to bar me from seeing my grandkids?" This is more of an issue with my mother than my father, as she's more vocal. Or the fact that it was me who decided to move 5,000 miles away, and therefore I need to accommodate their needs. They stated that they can't afford an Airbnb, no hotels in the area. I do live in a very rural area with no real amenities apart from a few Airbnbs. So their argument is that if they cannot stay with me, then they're barred from all contact. When they're here, they expect me to feed them and cater to them. My dad is a type 1 diabetic and is very set in his ways, so he's very picky. They expect it because they're my parents. I don't visit my home country very often, and so I've rarely stayed with them and would 100% get a hotel if it was the other way around. I'm just exhausted. They say it's only a few months a year, and they're there to help, but taking my kids to the park 3 times a week and doing the dishwasher every day isn't the help I want or need. I just want to keep my routine and feel safe and comfortable within my own home. ETA, I do have a fairly massive house with a lot of empty space, not fancy but large, as my husband's a builder, which is the main reason I think my parents are so frustrated at my action, and why I'm receiving backlash if I ask my friends around me if I'm being unreasonable. This is very similar to the last post in I wonder who's paying for the house. I wonder whose house it is, you know? Like obviously the parents had OP, so it's obviously their house. Right? Yeah, no. They're not the asshole. I don't get parents like that. Like, I know in some like cultures it's cool to like take care of your parents for forever, but like even with that, they sound like shit parents if their kid is like uncomfortable around them. Even if they were from one of the cultures that do that, it's like they didn't earn it. They didn't earn it. They weren't parents. Crazy thing, if your kid's uncomfortable around you, you probably didn't do a good job. Ugh. I don't know, me personally, I'd charge them rent. The next story is by Soledad6855. Am I the asshole for blowing up at my brother over a $13 Mother's Day gift? I, 25F, am the eldest of 5, raised by a single mom who placed all her expectations on me because I'm the oldest daughter, and because that's just how things are in our culture. I was expected to help raise my siblings and be responsible, so I did. I learned life skills early, did well in school, and graduated with Latin honors. My brothers, especially the twins, 24M, had a different experience. Clearly the favorites. My mom didn't expect much from them. She'd laugh off their bad behavior and even used her connections to get them out of doing certain things. They constantly bragged about cheating or paying others to do their schoolwork, and it was all treated like a joke. When it came to the family business, I stepped back because they seemed more invested. I chose to go to med school instead, which has been financially tough, but also something my mom always dreamed of for the family. Despite being in med school for full-time, I'm still the one she leans on when problems come up, even though they're the ones running the business. I help when I can, but I've told her repeatedly that they should be handling it. Then came Mother's Day. My mom was visiting me in Manila, so I planned a surprise in advance. I bought a cake, a gift, and a huge bouquet worth about $107, all paid up front. 2 of my brothers, Mark and John, were with me and agreed to chip in for the cake and gift, $13 each. Separately, I coordinated with my mom's boyfriend, who wanted to contribute too. After the surprise, he sent me $180 to cover the bouquet, and also added a little extra as a thank you and to help me out with school. Because of this, I didn't follow up with my brothers for their share and considered it settled. But on actual Mother's Day, when she was back in the province with the boys, Mark called to ask if there was leftover money from the bouquet they could use for another gift. I told them the money had been given to me directly for the bouquet and to help me out. And if they wanted to get her something else, we could all chip in again. That's when he blew up, calling me selfish, saying I should have never asked them to contribute in the first place because I have more money. I was livid. I told him if he's broke, it's because he doesn't know how to handle money. I worked my ass off for 2 years before med school to save money. They have nothing to show for their choices, but somehow always have money for gambling, vapes, and girlfriends, but not for $13 for a gift for our mom. I told him they're failures because they've never taken anything seriously. No drive, no accountability, no goals, and that they'll run the family business into the ground. Now they're upset, saying I'm an ass for throwing all this in their face, and my mom was such a bitch for not understanding their situation. What the fuck? I know their capabilities are limited due to their upbringing, but they're adults. They shouldn't they at least learn to save money? Am I really being a bad sister? What the fuck? Yeah, no, you're not the fucking asshole at all. The hell? By the way, is stream still looking good? There was a drop in bitrate. Okay. Yeah, I just saw a little red line on the stream health thing, so I wanted to double check. Yeah, no. I was gonna say you were totally not the asshole. Maybe you were a little harsh for saying that, but then they called their mom a bitch because they were upset. Now it's like, damn, you really deserve that. Yeah, no, not the asshole. Totally justified in that. In fact, I think you should just cut off your brothers at that point. Fucking wild. Quick drink. This next story is by Dazzling Ruin 5286. Am I the asshole for telling my wife she may need to take an Uber from the airport? My wife is working out of town in California. She's flying back to the Midwest on the 4th of July when one of my kids is having family over for the 4th of July. I told her I wasn't sure what we would be doing at 3:30 p.m. and she may need to take an Uber. She's upset that I don't want to go pick her up with a 40-minute drive each way when she could easily take an Uber. Point of context, I take an Uber to and from the airport for work every other week for my travel. It is paid for by my work, but hers is not. But the cost is not an issue. I mean, I don't think you're an asshole for that. It's just like, I don't know. I don't think there's like necessarily an asshole here. I think it's just more like, I don't know. This just seems kind of like a dumb disagreement. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't think anyone here is like necessarily an asshole. I don't think either person is like super, like not even that. Like it's just like a dumb little argument kind of thing. I don't think like anyone's wrong. It's just like kind of dumb to be arguing about, you know? Yeah, that's about it. That's sucks, you know? This next post is by Old Goat Fart. Am I the asshole for packing my roommate's stuff when she's supposed to be moving out in 3 days? Abso-fucking-lutely, why would you touch any of her stuff? Let me read the story. But just from the title, I'm like, don't touch people's stuff. I was cleaning out the living room and kitchen, and I put some of her non-essential stuff into 2 boxes. Winter boots, a blender she doesn't use, a bag of soil for her plants, etc. I left the boxes open in the living room so she could see what was in them and add stuff she wanted to. I was cleaning and trying to make space because my girlfriend will be moving in tomorrow. So it will be cramped for 2 or 3 days. I also wanted to help my roommate because she has lots of stuff and hasn't started packing yet, which I admit kind of stresses me out. Well, roommate didn't say anything, but she put everything I packed back into its original place, even if she doesn't use it. I found this very odd and asked her about it. She said she didn't like me touching and moving her stuff, which granted, I understand, but I was actually trying to help because she's moving in 3 days and hasn't even started to pack yet. Am I the asshole? Don't get me wrong. It's a little weird she put it back in the same place, but you're absolutely an asshole for touching her shit. Like, just don't touch other people's stuff. It's not that hard. Like, sure, she's moving out in 3 days, but I mean, she could very well have someone coming to help her pack And you throwing everything in one box is just gonna confuse shit, because if you've ever moved, the best way to do it is to stay fucking organized with everything, because then you'll know, like, this box stays in the kitchen because it's all kitchen stuff. This box goes in the bedroom because it's all bedroom stuff. I mean, you're throwing winter boots, fucking blender, bag of soil. You know? Even without that, just don't touch people's stuff. Easy as that. Definitely the asshole. Next story. This one is by Prestigious Tutor 410. Am I the asshole for pointing out that my mother is treating me differently from my siblings? I, 17F, have been noticing that my mother is treating me differently than my older brothers, 20 and 22. I've just graduated secondary a few months ago and came up with an idea. I'm going to study abroad, and I wish to spend my last few weeks with my siblings here like we used to before they also went abroad. I've been noticing that my mom has been more lenient with them with certain things like cleanliness. One of my brothers, the 20-year-old, does certain stuff like leaving his socks around and not throwing trash away immediately that I know for a fact my mother doesn't like. I don't like it either. And my mother hasn't brought it up with him. I find this unfair, because if I acted the way he does, I would have definitely been yelled at and would have had to hear another one of her 10-minute rants. Saturdays are normally the day we clean the house. I was sick that day, so I didn't feel like helping out. So I did do something at least. My mother asked me and my siblings for help, but I did the biggest chore in my opinion. One of my siblings, 22 years old, didn't do anything at all. The rest my mom did herself. Today, my mom asked me to help her clean the bathrooms, which I have no issue with, but I asked her why she doesn't ask my siblings to help out as well. I've noticed this past week that she basically doesn't ask my oldest brother to do any chore. My mom told me that she doesn't ask them to do chores because they're basically on a vacation. I pointed out that I'm also on a vacation since I finished school. She said that it's different, but in my opinion, it isn't at all. I might still be at home, but that doesn't take away the fact that I'm on vacation. I don't mind helping out since I always do, but I don't like it when she only asks me to help out and not my siblings. I know this isn't important and very insignificant, but I still wonder, am I wrong in this situation? Is it fair that I'm the only one she asks for help with chores? This is another one that I don't think there's an asshole in, to be honest. Because, like, I can kind of understand from both sides. I mean, yeah, it's kind of shitty that the mom's not asking both the other siblings for help, but I mean, from what it says, they live, like, abroad. They're just there for visiting, which I totally understand. And, like, she still lives at the house. But at the same time, I can understand how that looks unfair to her. I don't think anyone's, like, necessarily an asshole here. But, like, yeah, I just don't think anyone's the asshole. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go grab another drink. I'll be right back. All right, I am back. Plug in my phone. Hopefully everyone's drinking water today. Alrighty. So, this next one is by No Selection 4028. I, 25F, live with my boyfriend Liam, 24M. About a month ago, his mom Tanya began claiming she's dying of cancer, but no diagnosis has been confirmed. Every hospital visit ends with her being sent home. A nurse even told Liam she might be faking. It started when she stayed one night in our one-bedroom apartment. That turned into a week of chaos. She refused AC and fans, said they hurt her skin, but blow-dried her hair daily. The apartment smelled awful. Everything had to be dark and silent. She constantly demanded help. She even stormed into our bedroom at 3 a.m., asking Liam for massages. We sleep naked, so that was awkward. No shit. She criticized our Buddhist souvenirs, insisted we hang a cross, I did, and complained nonstop. She suggested we move in with her, an hour from our job/school. I'm a full-time student with 2 jobs and a 4.0 GPA, and I was falling behind. Liam, who works full-time, switched to remote work. His boss hated this, to care for Tanya. Her health updates were always shifting. MRI, canceled surgery, then chemo postponed due to infection, then E. coli. Always a new reason, no clear diagnosis or paperwork. When her husband David, who funds her lifestyle, was away, she made us go to her house to get her jewelry because she thinks he'll steal it when she dies. He's an alcoholic, according to her. We were supposed to take her to the ER right after, but we ended up staying 16 hours doing chores. I folded 420 clothing items, cleaned the whole house, and felt like her unpaid maid. Not a single please or thank you. She was stalling going to the ER, and when we finally got there at 5 a.m., she said she'd check in herself and sent us home. 3 hours later, she called again, sobbing for help. She had been rejected by the ER. I suspect she faked it. Liam and I both have been skipping meals, losing sleep, and falling behind at work to help her. He once said he's waiting for her to pass away so we can move to Europe. He's been forced to manage her divorce, lawyer meetings, and funeral prep. Meanwhile, David, who's paying the hospital bills and had been kept in the dark about all of this, sent Liam aggressive texts like, "I call bullshit," and "Don't show up at my house no more," then later apologized. Anya called again, begging for help. But this time, she wanted me because David is jealous of Liam. I had clearly told Liam I needed that weekend to study for final exams, and going to that house alone seemed sketchy. Now, I'm planning a 2 to 3 week Europe trip to see my mom, whom I haven't seen in over a year. Liam says he supports it, but called it a little selfish. He asked, if I were dying, would you quit your job to be with me? And if it were your mom, would you help her? I felt pressured to say yes, but truth is, my family wouldn't lie to me or use me like this. I love Liam, and I want to be there for him, but I don't trust his mom. And this is starting to affect our relationship. Am I the asshole for refusing to help Tanya and going home to Europe? No. I don't think you're the asshole at all. I mean, she's straight up saying she's getting kicked out of the fucking ER. Like, you know? Like, if that's the case, like, clearly nothing's actually wrong. Like, I think maybe Liam should see if she can get some, like, mental help, because at that point I do think she probably needs to see someone. But I mean, it's not your responsibility to do. You know? Definitely not the asshole. Quick drink break. All right. The next post is by Relative Edition 128. Am I the asshole for wearing the same shirt to 2 different events a few days apart? I'm gonna say this already. God, no. The fuck is their problem if they're complaining about that? Who knows though? I could be wrong. A few days ago, I, 20M, attended a birthday dinner for my brother, 34M. Was hosting for my nephew, 2M, and the whole thing lasted about an hour, and it was only close family. Our mom, his wife's mom, and her sister, so like 6 of us total. Well, my brother calls me yesterday morning that he was going out he was going to host a bigger party for the extended family. And since I hadn't done laundry and had worn the shirt for an hour and a half max, I decided to just wear the same shirt. Well, as soon as I showed up, my sister-in-law, 33F, starts freaking out, saying I have no respect for them, and that if I don't have any clean clothes, I should have either showed up late for doing my laundry or not shown up at all and refused to even let me come in the house. So I just gave her the gift for my nephew, drove home, and just played games with my friends. Come this morning, I get a call from my brother asking me why I didn't show up last night, and I explain the situation with his wife. He just sighs and says he'll call me back later. And now here I am wondering if I did something wrong. So, am I the asshole for wearing the same shirt to 2 events a few days apart? That alone, no. However, I will say, if the shirt somehow became a mess at the first event and you decided to wear it to the second, I see a bit more reason to be upset. Because small child, you know, don't want like super dirty people around them, you know? But like, if it's just the same shirt, then there's nothing wrong with that, you know? I just can't imagine another reason the sister-in-law would freak out unless it was like a visibly dirty shirt. But barring that actually happening, whatever. And this next one, I almost just started reading it. I gotta say who it's by first, because we shout people out here. This next story is by True Membership 8294. Am I the asshole for wearing a 2-piece bikini to my granddaughter's birthday pool party? My granddaughter, Kelsey, and I, 67F, were shopping for her 19th birthday party. After she picked out an outfit for herself, she tried to pick an outfit for me. All her suggestions were 2-piece bikinis. I gave the obvious answer, but she said her generation, especially those in our state, isn't that judgmental. I wore a 2-piece bikini at Kelsey's 19th birthday party. I was flattered she thought I should wear it, and I didn't want her to feel she will have to hide herself when she gets older. The party was hosted by Kelsey's mom and my daughter, Bridget, 44F. After the party, Bridget told me it was inappropriate for a woman my age to wear that in front of a bunch of college-age youngsters. She noted that she herself wore a one-piece bikini instead of a two-piece, or a one-piece instead of a two-piece. Am I the asshole? No. I would appreciate a little bit more grammar, but no. You're absolutely not. The pool party. The fuck? As long as, like, nothing's hanging out, you're all good. That's the whole point of, like, a swimsuit. Just make sure nothing's hanging out. Yeah, and on top of that, Kelsey picked it out for you. Like, yeah, no. Definitely not the asshole. Your daughter's the asshole, though. Your granddaughter's not, your daughter is. All right, this next post. Do Possible 1830. That's who it's by. Am I the asshole? Going on a family trip without my husband. For context, my husband works a demanding job and he never feels that he can take off work. When he can, he just always feels the pressure and doesn't. A group of my son's friends are going away, and when I told him that, I booked it. He immediately said, I can't take off. Is everyone going? At the same time, maybe 2 or 3 of the fathers weren't going because they had to work. So he said, okay, I can't take off. Have fun. Fast forward to a week before the trip, and I found out that in fact, those fathers took off and are going. I didn't say anything to my husband because I know he wouldn't have taken off work with a week to go. He finds out and is now irate with me for not telling him that everyone is going. And now he's not, and that I didn't give him the option and the conversation with him. And have a conversation with him. His reason is, do you know how this makes me look? We got into a huge argument and I told him if he wanted to have gone, it should have been because he wanted to take a family trip and not because everyone is going. Am I the asshole? This might be a hot take. I think both you and your husband are the asshole. Because, like, on his end, he clearly doesn't care about going on, like, a family trip so much as how him not going makes him look. Which is just kind of an asshole thing, in my opinion. Like, you're right, he should want to go because he's going on a family trip. And it doesn't seem like he's the kind of person, just from this story, that spends much time with family, even though he probably should. However, he is also right in that you didn't communicate with him. To be honest, I think you both need to communicate way, 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 way more. Like, it doesn't seem like there is all that much communication going on between you two. Just from this story. I can't definitely say from just this one story, but just from this story, it seems like there's no communication going on. Which is a shit basis for a relationship. Any kind of relationship, whether it be friends, family, romantic relationship, whatever. You need to communicate. Simple as that. Sorry, responding to a Discord message. This next one is by Tweaking C4T. Am I the asshole for giving too much attention to the dog? I, 24F, my boyfriend, 25M, has 4 dogs, 4 cats. I don't like how that started. He has 4 dogs and 4 cats. I love them all, but Milo is my favorite dog, and whenever I come over, I give him lots of love and attention. My boyfriend recently brought up how he feels hurt I was giving Milo more attention than him. I explained that I love Milo and love to give him pets and playtime. My boyfriend then said, "That's okay, maybe not so long, and give him a big greeting instead of the dog." I feel like I always try and make efforts to give him attention, affection, communication, etc. He agrees too. It says I should still pay more attention to him than the dog. What the? Why are you getting jealous over a dog, dude? All I can imagine is just her going up to the dog being like, "Oh, who's a good boy?" And then just being like, him just sitting there sulking, being like, "Hey, I want to be a good boy too. Don't you think I'm a good boy?" Like, come on, dude. Dude, you need to be so fucking for real right now. Like, is he really that upset over a fucking dog? Honestly, keep the dog, get rid of the boyfriend. That, like, I don't get it. Like, I just don't. Like, quick drink break before we start this next one. This next one is by Wolfgang9996. My sister-in-law, let's call her Jane. Over the years, she's borrowed money from me. On a family trip, I think I paid for a large group expense, and she didn't pay me back $400 for months. I gave her furniture for her apartment that my wife and I no longer were using. I had to pick it back up again when she didn't have a need for it anymore, and it was really inconvenient. She's about 25, about 6 years my junior. I honestly like her, but her behavior is really immature and selfish sometimes. She was having issues with her Volkswagen. It breaks down a lot, and she gets ripped off by mechanics often. I've changed the lights on it at least once. Now her fiance doesn't even attempt to do easy DIY jobs that most people could do. Anyways, I am an electromechanical tech, and a pretty good one. That stuff is pretty easy for me. The part that got me is that she thinks because I can do it, it's like my job or something. Well, I mean, it is, but like, not for her. She asked me to do her brakes for like $50 and a case of beer. I said no politely. I hate doing brakes. That's not my hobby, lady. She seems to have no concept of value. Anyway, I still have tried to help her a bit. Her windshield wiper motor was on the fritz. I told her it's not hard to replace. Buy the part and bring it over, and me and her can look at it. This was summer, I believe. She waits until the dead of winter and waits till I have a 3-month-old in order to bring me the windshield wiper motor. Sorry. The windshield wiper motor finally totally dies, and she basically can't drive it. I tell her to come on a fairly warm day and specifically said bring her fiance and he can learn a thing or two. Reason being is I don't want to be doing stuff like this for them if they aren't going to at least attempt it themselves. Day comes, she didn't even tell her fiance. I send him some text along the lines of, "Are you too busy for this?" And he says he doesn't appreciate that and that he has a secret Santa with his frat brothers that he's planned for forever. He tells me that he doesn't need me to do it and just that, wait, whoa. Okay. Grammar, people, grammar. He tells me that he doesn't need me to do this and that I could just be that friend who helps them. We kind of get into it over the phone as I tell him this is more his problem than mine. He spins it saying he trusts Jane, can handle her problems, and is not controlling like that. I tell him she's not solving it. She's bringing it to me. He gets mad and says his friend who's a mechanic can do it. I still expect Jane to come, but she doesn't. Her and her fiance get into a fight over this and have their friend do it, who fails and it's still broken. I wind up apologizing just to smooth things over. My wife doesn't really take my side 100%. She winds up having her stepdad do it. I've never even said don't come over. Am I the asshole or am I dealing with a bunch of babies? I mean, you're definitely not the asshole. Like, you've helped them a good little bit, and I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure brakes cost more than $50. Let's see, brake pads. It depends on what you get. Yes. Full new brakes, anywhere from like 200 to like 600. Yeah. I'd say you're not the asshole. Well, I mean, them buying the part and then just coming over and you teaching them how to install it for next time, that's even pretty chill of you, to be honest. So yeah, definitely not the asshole. I'd say I probably have 3 or 4 more in me, depending on how long they are. Next story. This one is by Beneficial Moose 635. Am I the asshole? I got into a fight with my family because I didn't want to go to the beach. Today, me and my sibling planned to go to the beach. My parents used to be really strict about making me go to the beach because I was a kid dealing with chronic illness and they believed it would make me better. Naturally, I started to hate it because they were very strict about it and fights would happen all the time. Today, I was planning to go to the beach to sit with my sibling for an hour in regular clothing and not swim at all. The thing is, I'm really insecure about my appearance and hate being in a swimsuit. My sibling basically started out of nowhere pushing me on a swimsuit as we were leaving. We got into a fight and I decided to stay home. She's really upset she's really upset and my dad and his friends that's staying with us for vacation are apparently at the beach as well. I feel really bad, but at the same time, I feel like they're not understanding me that well with how I feel. Am I the asshole? Nah. Nah. You know how many people go to the beach every day and just kind of chill in fucking cargo shorts and like a t-shirt? Nah. Not a chance. You are not the asshole in the slightest. Am I the asshole for needing space after my boyfriend was fired from his job? This is by Lowfish6075, by the way. I forgot to read that first. But we're rolling with it. My 35F boyfriend, 36M, of 1 year, was fired from his job last week for his attendance. For context, he worked at a machinery sales job since February of 2024, so a little more than a year at this point. In the year we've been together, I can recall at least 5 times he's called out of work for one reason or another. Not to mention the times I don't know about. He's pretty consistently late by 10 minutes or more, and doesn't even get up for work until maybe 30 minutes before he has to be there. Whereas I'm up a minimum of 4 hours before I have to leave for work in order to hit the gym. Is that normal? That's fine. I don't wake up in the morning. I don't like it. Anyway. Whereas I'm up a minimum of 4 hours before I have to leave for work in order to hit the gym, do hair and makeup and whatnot. Anyways, this last week, he was 10 minutes late for work because he couldn't find his son's shoes. And it was the final straw for his boss, who ended up letting him go. When he came to me upset, I wasn't particularly sensitive to the situation. I am an AGM in hospitality. I've been at my job for almost 10 years and told him having to look for shoes is not a good enough excuse, and that his lack of motivation and drive is beginning to concern me. I also told him that I would have fired him long ago, and that they had given him plenty of chances to get it together. He didn't like this, and let me know that he wasn't asking for my professional opinion. I did help him, or I did follow all this up with letting him know that I love him, and if he needs any help finding something else, I will absolutely help him. We can get a new resume together and see what's available in our area. Now, here's the problem. This situation has pulled the puppy love from my eyes, and I'm starting to realize there's been a general lack of drive and motivation. This entire time, and now that I'm seeing it more clearly, it's like a glaring red flag that cannot be ignored. And this made me feel a little put off by him for the moment. I mentioned that we need to have a conversation about the future and our individual and mutual goals to see if they still align. And if after all this time a relationship is still worth pursuing, if we are on such different paths. This isn't about money, as I make fine money and have a handle on mine. This is more about wanting to be with someone who has the same motivation and goals and sees the same future as I do. Wait, what the? This is more about wanting to be with someone who has the same motivation and goals and wants and sees the same future as I do. I am not, have never been, and never will be okay with just getting by. My whole life has been about the next step and doing better, and setting up a better life for my kids than I had. I'm a single widowed mother of 2 young boys, and I do not feel like I have the time nor affordability in this life to waste on someone that wants to just get by. In all other aspects, he's a great boyfriend. He's kind, loving, sensitive, thoughtful, very communicative, smart, funny. Literally every other aspect is perfect, but this one thing is such a big thing I'm struggling not to see past. So, am I the asshole for needing space while he's going through this? Nope, but you are for your grammar. No, but all seriousness, I don't think you're the asshole. It sounds like you had like a conversation with him about it, which is good. I mean, you did everything right for trying to reassess this relationship. You communicated what you wanted. You said what you needed to reassess it. It's like you did everything correctly. You're absolutely not the asshole. Now, me personally, I wouldn't have thrown in that I would have fired him. But I mean, I don't think you're necessarily an asshole for that. It's like, it's true, but like, kind of unnecessary. But even then, I really don't think you're the asshole for that. I am gonna do a quick drink break, and then I think this is gonna be the last one, actually. Sick. This next one is by Ribio. Am I the asshole for refusing to pay for my mother's living expenses? No. My 22 mother, 60, was diagnosed with brain cancer last year after having some health issues for a while. Since she was unable to work, I was the provider for the house, together with the money my grandma, 90's pension. I had always told my mother that I couldn't take care of her since I'd been dealing with depression for most of my life. Taking care of myself and others is a challenge, and I thought it would be a dangerous place for her care entirely upon me. I offered to pay for a nurse to take care of her and pay for the house expenses for the time that we lived together. An offer she was apparently okay with? Sorry, that was written weird. She had always been pretty manipulative, acting like the victim and never taking the blame for anything. Like, for example, telling my family that I left university because I wanted to go to the most expensive option, when in reality, it was because of harassment. In January, it was decided that it would be better if she moved to the capital with her brother and my grandma for the better treatment opportunities, so I was forced to move out of the apartment we were renting into a smaller one with our 2 dogs, living alone for the first time in my life. She gave me around 300 USD from her savings in case I had to travel to see her, but she asked me to buy her some things off Amazon with her money, and in the end there was only 250 left. She lives in her brother's house now with rent, electricity, and food paid for, but she still wants me to give her money monthly to pay for extra expenses. I've told her to ask her brother for them, since those are basic things like bread and pads. There's food in the house, it's just not the type she likes. When I told her I had many things to pay on my side and that I couldn't give her money, she lashed out at me. Told me that it was selfish of me, that I was being childish, and that I was in the wrong. She told me to never speak to her again and to just give her back the $250 or just give me back her $250, money which I used in an emergency and hadn't been able to replace. She's sending messages to my dad, who had been out of the picture for my whole life, my friends and everyone she has contact with, crying, asking to tell me to talk to her again, telling them that her tumor is getting worse and she's gonna die. I've stood my ground in wanting her to apologize for lashing out at me and calling me all the names in the book, and she has never apologized to me in her life. A friend is telling me that I should call her and fix the issue, but it feels like going back to the same situation where I just do anything she wants. Am I the asshole for refusing to apologize first? No. No. Right? Like I said, you don't really owe your parents anything, especially if they're not good parents, you know? Like, you're totally in the right. You don't need to give your money over. You don't need to do what she says. Oh, you don't even need to apologize. I mean, by that same, like, coin there, it's like she doesn't need to apologize either. Should she? Maybe. It's like, neither one of you necessarily needs to apologize. It's just like, sorry, I'm looking. Yeah, no, but you don't need to apologize for any of that. Like, you don't need to cover her shit. She really doesn't need to be telling your family about the issues, especially if your dad hasn't been in your life. In fact, I'd call her the asshole more for that. But yeah, that is gonna be the last Reddit story for the night. Because I am tired of talking. But if you missed any of them for having to go do something or another, you know, that's totally fine. I'm going to be posting them on TikTok at some point here, whenever I get around to cutting the VOD up. Yeah, let me find someone I can raid. Hey, this Dash raid. Damn. Alrighty. That's going to be about it for today. I'm going to be live tomorrow. I'm not sure if I'm going to be playing Peak or what. I'm going to be playing something right around 8 o'clock. But yeah, that's going to be about it for this one. Thanks for stopping by. Be sure to boop when you get into the